Hey everyone, today we're diving into the fascinating world of accidental inventions. You won't believe how some of the things we use every day were actually created by mistake. I mean, who would have thought that some of our favorite snacks, life-saving medicines, and even everyday household items came about because someone goofed up or stumbled upon them by sheer luck? Imagine being in a lab minding your own business and suddenly, bam! You've just invented something that will change the world forever. It's like winning the lottery without even buying a ticket. These stories are not just about the inventions themselves, but also about the incredible human spirit of curiosity and perseverance. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a trip down the quirky, unexpected path of accidental discoveries. From the microwave to Post-its, and even Coca-Cola, these inventions have fascinating backstories that you won't want to miss. So grab your snacks, maybe even some cornflakes or potato chips, and let's dive in. Trust me, you won't look at these everyday items the same way again. All right, let's kick things off with a bang. Literally, the microwave is something we all use, whether it's for reheating leftovers or making popcorn. But did you know it was discovered by accident? Percy Spencer, an engineer, was working on radar technology during World War II. One day, while standing in front of an active radar set, he noticed that the candy bar in his pocket had melted. Now, most of us would probably just be annoyed about the mess, but not Percy. Percy was intrigued. He decided to experiment by placing other items near the radar set. First up was popcorn kernels, and guess what? They started popping. Next, he tried an egg, which promptly exploded. Through these experiments, Percy realized that the radar waves could cook food quickly. And just like that, the microwave oven was born, revolutionizing the way we prepare our meals. Can you imagine the world without microwave dinners or those late-night popcorn cravings? It's incredible how a simple, melted candy bar led to an invention that has become a staple in almost every kitchen. So, next time you nuke your leftovers, give a little nod to Percy Spencer and his sweet tooth. Now let's talk about something that's probably stuck to your fridge or your computer screen right now: Post-it notes. These handy little notes were the result of a failed experiment. Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M, was trying to develop a super strong adhesive. Instead, he ended up with a weak, pressure-sensitive adhesive that could be easily peeled off without leaving any residue. Not exactly what he was aiming for. For years, Spencer tried to find a use for his failed adhesive, but nothing seemed to stick, pun intended. Enter Art Fry, another 3M scientist. Art was frustrated with the bookmarks falling out of his hymn book during choir practice. He remembered Spencer's adhesive and thought, what if I could use this to make a bookmark that stays put but doesn't damage the pages? And just like that, the Post-it note was born. It's funny to think that something so ubiquitous started as a solution to a choir practice problem. Today, Post-its are used for everything from office reminders to creative brainstorming sessions. So, next time you jot down a quick note, remember the sticky journey that made it possible. All right, folks, let's get into something that has literally saved millions of lives: penicillin. This game-changing antibiotic was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928, and guess what? It was totally by accident. Fleming was a bit of a messy scientist, and one day he left a petri dish uncovered. When he returned, he found that mold had started to grow on it. But here's the kicker: the bacteria around the mold were dead. Most people would have just tossed the contaminated dish, but Fleming was curious. He identified the mold as Penicillium notatum and realized it had antibacterial properties. This accidental discovery led to the development of penicillin, the first true antibiotic, which has since saved countless lives from bacterial infections. Imagine a world without antibiotics. It's a little terrifying, right? Fleming's messy lab habits turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So, the next time you hear someone telling you to clean up, just remember that a little messiness can sometimes lead to groundbreaking discoveries. Let's move on to breakfast, specifically cornflakes. This crunchy cereal staple was actually a happy accident. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg and his brother Will were trying to create a healthy meal for patients at their sanitarium. They were experimenting with different grains, and one day they accidentally left some cooked wheat out. When they returned, it had gone stale. Instead of throwing it away, they decided to roll it out, and to their surprise, it flaked. They toasted the flakes, and voila, corn flakes were born. The patients loved them, and soon the Kellogg brothers realized they had a hit on their hands. They later switched to corn for mass production, and that's how corn flakes became the breakfast icon we know today. It's fascinating to think that a simple mistake in the kitchen led to a product that millions of people enjoy every morning. So, the next time you're crunching on a bowl of cornflakes, remember the Kellogg brothers and their accidental culinary breakthrough. Now, let's talk about Velcro, the handy hook and loop fastener we use on everything from shoes to spacesuits. This invention was inspired by nature and discovered by accident. In 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral went for a walk with his dog in the Alps. When they returned, he noticed that burrs were stuck to his dog's fur and his clothes. Curious, he examined the burrs under a microscope and saw that they had tiny hooks that latched onto anything with a loop. George realized that this natural mechanism could be replicated for practical use. After years of experimentation, he developed a synthetic version using nylon. He called his invention Velcro, a combination of the words velvet and crochet. It wasn't an instant hit, but eventually it caught on and became the versatile fastener we know today. It's amazing how a simple walk in the mountains led to an invention that's now used in countless applications. So next time you strap on your Velcro shoes, think about the burrs that made it all possible. All right, let's quench our thirst with a story about Coca-Cola. This iconic beverage was originally intended to be a medicinal tonic. In 1886, Dr. John Pemberton, a pharmacist, was trying to create a cure for headaches and other ailments. He concocted a syrup made from coca leaves and cola nuts and mixed it with carbonated water. The result? A delicious, refreshing drink that people couldn't get enough of. Pemberton's bookkeeper, Frank Robinson, came up with the name Coca-Cola and designed the famous script logo. The drink was initially sold as a patent medicine, but it quickly gained popularity as a soda fountain beverage. Over time, Coca-Cola evolved into the global brand we know and love today. It's fascinating to think that a quest for a headache cure led to one of the world's most beloved soft drinks. So the next time you take a sip of Coca-Cola, remember Dr. Pemberton and his accidental creation. Now let's snack on the story of potato chips. This crunchy delight was invented by George Crumb, a chef in Saratoga Springs, New York, way back in 1853. One day, a customer kept sending back his fried potatoes, complaining they were too thick and soggy. Frustrated, George decided to slice the potatoes as thin as possible, fry them until they were crispy, and add a bit of extra salt. To his surprise, the customer loved them. Word of the crispy, salty snack spread quickly, and soon Saratoga chips became a popular item on the menu. Over time, potato chips evolved into the snack food we know today, available in countless flavors and enjoyed by millions. It's funny how a chef's frustration led to the creation of one of the world's favorite snacks. So, the next time you munch on a bag of potato chips, remember George Crumb and his accidental culinary masterpiece. Let's shed some light on the discovery of X-rays. In 1895, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with cathode rays when he noticed something strange. He observed that a fluorescent screen in his lab started to glow, even though it wasn't in the direct path of the cathode rays. Intrigued, he began experimenting further and discovered that these mysterious rays could pass through solid objects and create images of their interiors. Röntgen called these unknown rays X-rays and quickly realized their potential for medical imaging. His discovery revolutionized medicine, allowing doctors to see inside the human body without surgery. X-rays became an invaluable diagnostic tool, saving countless lives and advancing medical science. It's incredible to think that a simple lab experiment led to a groundbreaking medical discovery. So the next time you see an X-ray image, remember Wilhelm Röntgen and his accidental contribution to modern medicine. Let's sweeten things up with the story of saccharin, the first artificial sweetener. In 1879, chemist Konstantin Fahlberg was working in his lab when he accidentally spilled a chemical compound on his hands. Later, he forgot to wash his hands before eating dinner and noticed that everything he touched tasted unusually sweet. Fahlberg realized that the compound, benzoic sulfamide, was the source of the sweetness. Excited by his discovery, Fahlberg patented saccharin and began producing it as a sugar substitute. Despite initial resistance from the sugar industry, saccharin gained popularity, especially during sugar shortages in World War I and World War II. Today, it's widely used in diet sodas, sugar-free gum, and other low-calorie products. It's fascinating how a simple oversight in the lab led to a sweet revolution. So the next time you enjoy a sugar-free treat, remember Konstantin Fahlberg and his accidental discovery. Finally, let's stick with the story of superglue. In 1942, Dr. Harry Coover was working on a project to create clear plastic gun sights for the war effort. During his experiments, he discovered a chemical compound called cyanoacrylate that was incredibly sticky. However, it wasn't suitable for his project, so he set it aside. Years later, Coover revisited the compound and realized its potential as a quick bonding adhesive. In 1958, superglue was introduced to the market, and it quickly became a household staple. Its ability to bond almost anything in seconds made it invaluable for countless applications, from fixing broken items to medical uses. It's amazing how a failed experiment turned into one of the most versatile adhesives in the world. So the next time you use superglue, remember Dr. Harry Coover and his sticky surprise. Isn't it amazing how some of the most common things in our lives came to be by pure chance? From the microwave to superglue, these accidental inventions have had a profound impact on our daily lives. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. It's incredible to think about the serendipity and curiosity that led to these discoveries. These stories remind us that sometimes our greatest achievements come from unexpected places. So the next time you encounter a problem or make a mistake, remember that it might just be the beginning of something extraordinary. Who knows, you could be the next accidental inventor. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting stories like these. See you next time. Thanks for watching and keep exploring the fascinating world of happy accidents.